today, Senator Gary Peters, the ranking member of the Homeland Security Committee, which has domain oversight over this, just launched an investigation into those delays at the U.S. Postal Service. And Senator Gary Peters, Democrat of Michigan, is here with me now. Senator, it's great to have you. Let me start with that letter that Pelosi and Schumer sent, and what the sort of top line concerns are from you and other Democrats.
Well, there are a number of top-line concerns, Chris, and thank you for really highlighting this story, because I think it's incredibly important for the reasons that you mentioned. We have folks who rely on the Postal Service for checks, Social Security checks, paychecks, prescription medicines that are coming in. You mentioned how the VA is now realizing that these mail delays are impacting the ability to get essential drugs to veterans who require this. This is incredibly important that we deal with. And as a ranking member of the committee with oversight over the post office, we've been trying to get information from the Postmaster General. It has been slow. We're finally starting to get information. Just late today, we've got answers to some of the questions we asked, but there are huge gaps as well. As you mentioned at the top of the segment, we know that a number of changes have gone in place to basically limit overtime. So if you have a surge of mail will pile up because it's not taken out of the post office as it usually is. You're also seeing transportation trucks going back and forth are being delayed as well, or not being fully utilized. You're also seeing some of the processing, the machines that process and sort are also limited in what they're doing. All of these things basically mean that mail starts piling up. You know, I'm hearing from folks, letter carriers and postal workers, they're saying they're seeing piles of mail that they've never seen before in their post offices. I'm hearing from constituents all across the state of Michigan. My colleagues are hearing from their constituents all over the country that this is happening. This cannot occur, especially, as was mentioned, in the middle of a pandemic. People rely on the Postal Service to provide critical mail to them in a timely way, and that's not happening, and we need to get to the bottom of it and try to understand why would they put these changes in. Clearly, it looks as if that's slowing down the mail without actually testing to find out, does this even work? The implications are so huge. It is irresponsible to think you'd be putting in these kinds of changes without understanding exactly the impact that'll have on reliability.
You know, I've been in contact with a ton of people, both customers of the U.S. Postal Service and mail carriers and former retired mail carriers. It's almost inside the post office. It's almost a point of religious devotion that you don't let mail pile up. That mail goes out as fast as you can get it out. You do what it takes to get it out the door, and that's a sort of like cardinal operating principle that has now been upended. And I guess my understanding of the argument from those implementing this is that this is cost saving, that essentially you need that the USPS has tough finances, that it needs a lot of money from the federal government right now. We can talk about the causes of that, and that this is intended to limit overtime, to limit labor costs, so that you bring the overhead down. Is there a good faith argument there? Like, is that an actual argument?
Well, we haven't seen any of that analysis gone forward, but bottom line, if you're a company, you want to provide first class service, just like first class mail. You want to provide service to your customers, and when you start backing off on those kinds of service standards, and people can't rely on the mail, there are other alternatives that people can use for mail service for a variety of products. And if you start then taking and providing less service, people are going to look for alternatives, and you're going to be in a downward spiral. You have to continue to provide the kind of service that people expect from the Postal Service, or you're going to be in bigger trouble. There are a lot of folks who believe the Trump administration basically wants to privatize the Postal Service. They want to basically throw a wrench in the wheel so that they can justify basically privatizing the service. That is unacceptable. This is the only agency or the only entity that actually delivers to every single address in the United States, no matter where you live. It's absolutely essential to folks in rural areas that rely on the Postal Service. We've got to make sure that this proud history of this organization of over 240 years continues to deliver their mail. And as you mentioned very, very accurately, postal workers say they never want to see a bag of mail laying on the floor. They want to get it out immediately. And sometimes you get a huge surge. When you have a big surge of absentee ballots, you need more people, you need more manpower and hours in order to get it out. And that's what we expect the Postal Service to do. And we're going to demand that we get that kind of service from the Postal Service going forward.
Final question, but briefly. It has not been established definitive to me that Louis DeJoy, the Postmaster General, and Trump and RNC donor is the source of these changes. Is that established to you? Like, do we know for a fact that this is Louis DeJoy's doing?
Well, we got a letter this afternoon, this afternoon, that said, yes, these changes are going forward, but it wasn't from the Postmaster General, someone within the Postal Service. But it looks clear that this is something that they've put forward, which leads to the other questions. Did you test this? Do you have any kind of data to back up that this is actually something that'll work? And how are you monitoring it? How do we make changes if it is indeed slowing down the mail?
All right, Senator Gary Peters, thank you so much for taking time tonight. I'd love to have you back as we learn more on this topic. We're going to stay on it.
Great. Thank you.